I'm so proud of Portia. I mean, obviously, Pajama Jammers, Babysitters Club, all day. Like, I'm so proud that my friend made it to the end. Definitely bittersweet because, as you heard Rachel say so many times in the speech, if I'd gotten past that week, I absolutely would have been at the end. I probably would have won the game. So definitely bittersweet. But hey, she played a great game. Rachel, you know, she's very deserving of winning. I didn't vote for her, but congrats, Rachel. You get to have it at your wedding.
Why do you think you would have won?
Well, we knew what was kind of coming. We knew the staple items that are always in Big Brother, and the last few always have to do with things that happened in the house. They always have to do with the people that were in the house. They're always smart. There are always some questions, except for that one endurance. They knew that I was good at endurance because I'd done well the whole season, and I won all of the questions. So it was kind of one of those things where I was told by numerous people that I was too smart to stay in the game because they all knew that I would have won. And then by that point, if I'd gotten to the end, you would have been able to say that I'd won X amount of competitions, that I played a good social game, and that most people in the house at the very least respected that.
So your alliance with Danielle, it was YouTube.
Absolutely.
Were you ever aligned with your best?
Absolutely. The thing is, and it's hard, I even forget sometimes, but Danielle was a vet. You know what I mean? Even though, you know what I mean? It's like you forget that, but she was. And from the beginning, I realized that the newbies were already making alliances. There were the kids in the library, you know, everyone was already kind of linking up. And I also already realized that a lot of people loved Juan, and I had to figure out that if I ended up on the block, how was I going to stay against him? And so I went upstairs. I was already close with Jeff and Jordan just from sharing a room with them. And I kind of said, look, I know you guys are out of sixth man. I trust Jordan a lot. I will, you know, whatever. I'll do whatever you guys will rope or whatever. So yeah, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, I was aligned with them on the surface. But from the first week, Danielle and I talked in that storage room, and we said, we think a lot alike. Let's play this game together. And we kept it hush until we couldn't any longer. And so yeah, I played with the vets. You'd probably say the whole game because I played with Danielle until she left.
Okay, I have to ask about the plans back to Jeff.
Yes.
Because High defined the whole season.
Yes, it really did.
How did you get involved in it? Was it too soon?
It was absolutely too soon. That was one of the first things I said to Danielle when she brought it up. I was like, do you think that this might be too soon? It's like, it's week 2. It's like, maybe we should wait, you know? Especially since we all knew that the pack of us were going to go to a certain point. But there was something really important to understand, that if we had all gone to the jury together, it would have been incredibly hard for me to beat Brendan in a foot race, to beat Jeff in a foot race. And it was like there were people that we absolutely just had to take out. As far as being a part of the plan, I mean, when Danielle brought it to me and Dominic sitting in the have-not room, that, I mean, we were literally a part of it, and I was just as much a part of putting it together as anyone else. I tried to pretend I wasn't for the sake of my own game, but I was absolutely a part of it, and I was absolutely on board with it, and I spent the rest of the game trying to get Jeff out, and then I got him out. So.
Then you got him out.
Exactly.
So the backdoor plan led to that awesome house fight.
It was the worst moment ever because I had to be such freaking lame in that fight. I couldn't fight the way I usually fight. I mean, there were some words that were said that where I come from, that gets you knocked out. Like, you don't cuss at people, you don't cuss people out like that and talk to them so disrespectfully. It's a game, you know. And there were a lot of things that were said about me and my character that I wanted to just light up that room, but I couldn't. So I had to play with it like, oh my god, I would never do that to you. I'm so sorry. You know, I was an actor for 6 years, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So I know what I'm doing.
That's interesting.
I know. That was one of the things I was like, should I keep that a secret from the house? And then it's so much of my life that when I would tell stories, I'd be like, oh, this one time when I was on tour, I did musical theater. So it's kind of like one of those things that you kind of call on when you need to cry on command.
Good skill to have.
Definitely a good one.
So Mr. Hansified right up there. You're kind of a part of that.
I know.
How did that go so
well, you know what? These twists that come into the game, you have no idea what's going to happen. And that was the one time in the game where I went against my own gut instincts. It was the one time where I was talked out of putting Adam up. I had every intention of putting Adam up as one. And it was one of those things where I let the people who I trusted say, like, you know, don't do it. He's somebody who could come back and be upset. And I'm like, yeah, but you have to win something first, you know? But when it came down to it, I also had to kind of, when I realized that everyone in the house was promising me all kinds of things, the Shelleys, the Adams, or whatever, when I realized that they were probably going to go against it, I was like, okay, I need to try and do what I can do to cover my own next week. And that's when I kind of said, if I put somebody up, then Rachel what could possibly be she's going to think that I'm trying to actually go along with this deal of keeping her, and then I'll be able to call in that favor later if she does stay. And that was something that I ended up using later. I told her, I was like, you know, I showed you leniency, you showed me leniency. She didn't, but you know, that was something that you could use later on. So it sucks, but we all know from lots of people, especially Marcellus, when you volunteer to put yourself in the box and you don't take yourself, I mean, when you do that, you're asking to do nothing.